All right. Hello. So, what I'm going to do this time around is just because I usually do the preview for the card in front of the app, I think it might be easier if we just put it in front of this. So, I'll be doing the preview of the card first, and then we're going to jump into some games. All right. So, what we've got today is an evil card from the new set. So, for those of you who haven't been following, we are spoilering a card from the new physical set each of the streams. So right now, the card that I'm spoiling today is Necromantic Excavator, which is a 1-cost champion. It has 10 offense and 7 defense, and when you play it, it has a tribute. Right away, you banish target player's discard pile, so same type of effect as Amnesia, a Heinous Feast, Erratic Research, Grave Demon, that kind of thing. And then for each champion that you banish, you get a zombie token. So you can banish your opponent's discard pile, you can also banish your own discard pile, and you'll get a zombie for each champion that you banish. There's no color requirements, so you can play it. Is my sound on? Yeah, alright. I made that mistake a couple of times. There's no color requirement, so you can just play this in any deck. You can pick it up in Dark Draft or in something like a random 60 if you're just looking to get some discard pile banishment and you don't have any in your deck yet. Yeah, so that'll be the card. How's it going? Jazz and Cash? And of course, whenever I'm doing this type of thing, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Otherwise, I'll just leave it up for a minute and then I'll hop over to do some Epic. The man with the foil deck, I know. It's exciting stuff. Alright, just going to... Alright, let's hop into it. So, what we were doing was we were going to try out this deck that we just were working on. It's a human tokens deck. The big thing about this deck was we're just trying to make a human token oriented deck, and we're splashing some colors. So basically we had a previous tokens deck, and we're playing cards like Imperial Commander, which gives all of your champions +3 offense, you draw a card. Playing Breath of Life here, so this one will bring back a good champion from your discard pile to play. And if you bring back a champion on your turn, you get 2 humans. If you bring it back on their turn, they get 2 humans. Otherwise, we're just playing some card advantage. We're playing Noble Unicorn here, draw a card, and give us just an engine. We're also running Urgent Messengers here, which will draw us 2 cards, and put 2 humans into play, and Lay Claim, which is a draw 1, put 4 human tokens into play. So just trying to slowly accumulate the human tokens, and then we'll go all out with Justice Prevails, or a Revolt, or something similar. In the Imperial, we have cards like the Imperial Commander here and the Gold Dragon, which will make our human tokens threats on their own. 0-cost evil card you showed us a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, it's a full cycle, so there'll be some for each, but they'll be spread out. We want to do them all at the same time. All right, so I did just see someone in arena here, so I might just hop in. Right now it's a random 30. That means it'll just be random. But otherwise, if I don't find an opponent in maybe a minute... Oh, I'm up against Jazz. How you doing? Alright, we have a really good hand here, actually. The opponent's going first. I kind of want to keep all of this. I think what I'm going to do is definitely keep the draw 2 and the Muse. Now the question is, do I want the Great Horn Lizard or not? I can't say I'm particularly excited about it. I think the Watcher Gargoyle is kind of a tough card to play because of the recycle normally, but I think it has some merit in this hand. The reason is, if we play Disappearing Act off turn to return a champion to its owner's hand, and we discard a card, we can then play the Watcher Gargoyle and recycle both. So I think the Watcher Gargoyle is a reasonable keep here. I'll probably just toss the Great Horn Lizard. Can't see myself really wanting to play that right now. Thanks. Appreciate that, Jazz. got some foils of our own. One of those mustaches to twirl. Alright. Ankylosaurus passing. I think that's a good play. So Jazz is leaving up the gold. My read is that Jazz doesn't really have anything. But we'll just play this Muse and then pass the turn. Could be a bit risky. I think I stand a chance. I've got a couple foils of my own. I just have to draw all of them. Misguide, yeah. Alright, sounds good to me. Looks like it's going to be a Tri-Horror here. Just some big stuff. We haven't spent our gold yet, so I think what we're going to do is just draw 2 cards. Sweet. Probably going to return that Tri-Horror to the owner's hand with that, the Disappearing Act. And then maybe drop down this Araxa here just to get some bodies in play. Let's play the Araxa first. So what we'll do is we'll play the Araxa, make 2 demons, pass the turn. That way our opponent doesn't know that we have his Disappearing Act in hand. Play this anytime during our turn. So here we're passing. If Jazzborn just starts the turn, then it would be bad for me. Because I wouldn't get to do this Disappearing Act. But there's no way Jazz would really want to do that, right? Because that means that Jazz's gold would be wasted. So we know Jazz is going to spend the gold. We're going to bait that out. That way Jazz couldn't, you know, maybe play off-turn board wipe here, or maybe add something to the board. Now we just get to kind of get that for free. Alright, we're just going to take this 3. We could do something like fancy. We could howl our Muse after blocks. We could play Watchful Gargoyle here and draw a card with Recycle and use that to block. Overall, though, I think just taking the 3 is fine. Ooh, this is nice. So both these cards will get revealed. Marcus will draw a card and it'll get rid of 3 tokens. So that'll eat my demons. I think we're going to draw 2 here. We're going to try and bait out an attack with this Ankylosaurus. If that happens, then we will block and howl, or we'll use the Watchful Gargoyle. Probably the Watchful Gargoyle because it's pretty free. Just go ahead and get rid of so we don't know anything. Suppose I wouldn't mind returning the Disappearing Act to hand, so I'll leave that. We'll just double block here. This way, 7 can only be distributed to take down one of my champions, but I still get to take down the Ankylosaurus. So, I mean, probably the choice would be to take down the Araxa because it's just bigger. It's 6 offense, so it threatens to do 6 damage every turn. It can just stop bigger things very easily. Very nice. Alright, now do we get to start our turn with Muse? Oh man, this is looking beautifully. We just got Justice Prevails? Man, things are going swimmingly. What we'll do here is we'll actually just play this War Priest and then pass. I think we want to pull some shenanigans with this Justice Prevails. That might be the play. We know there's a Shock Trooper and a Rabble Rouser here. So Rabble Rouser will make a bunch of human tokens, and Shock Trooper will basically make everything, all the good champions, the L1s, really strong this turn. We've also got the card we return to hand, Tri-Horror in hand. I think we have so many zeros in hand that it makes sense to kind of try and play things slow here. You just sit on our cards. This Muse needs to be dealt with. We can block the attacks pretty profitably, so we'll see what happens. Alright, yeah, we'll just trade that in with the Watchful Gargoyle. No need to do anything fancy. Happy to make that trade. In general, the 3-2 is going to be better because if nothing else is in play, The 3/2 will deal 3 damage to me every turn, but the 2/3 will only do 2 damage to Jazz every turn. The only time I really want a 2/3 instead is if my opponent has maybe some 2/2s, so that I can make some humans here. Alright, so basically when this is used, it puts a human to play, then doubles the number of humans. So played Arai the People to make 1 human. Played Rabblemaster used it to make a 2nd human, and then double the humans goes up to 4. Not a big deal. I think we're going to try and set up for Justice Prevails here. So in that case, let's just draw 2 and we'll play Howl here. That'll put us at 7. We'll go to 8. We don't really need to. We could do something like a Drain Essence. I have some removal in hand already. We'll go for the Drain Essence play, I think. Make some wolves. Not really expecting a Flash Fairy here because that would also kill Jazz's tokens. This 11-10 could come in and I would block it with a human token. Take down a human. Sure. Draw 2 from that Muse. The Muse is coming crazy. Muse is crazy. We're going to just attack with the wolf token and see what happens here. I'm going to try and get this Justice Prevails off. Yeah. Alright. Oh, perfect. This is exactly what I wanted to have happen. I figured this might be the block that Jazz would make. Now we can take this out and gain 5 health. And then we have all these other attacks that'll gain us so much health. Say Jazz needs an off-turn Board Wipe right now. Thought we were playing a tokens deck constructed. Well, we're actually just playing tokens random 30. Alright. Good. That's what I like to see. We're gonna start just coming in with our little things. No reason to pass here. We just would lose out on so much health gain for free. If I pass, Jazz definitely just starts the turn. Doesn't let me attack. Definitely worth spending the gold there. Sure. Make the human tokens big. So now Jazz's human tokens can block my human tokens, and they'll both die. But I'll still gain 4 health. The health gain here is going to be very relevant, just because it's a lot. Just gain. But I'll gladly just make these trades here because us both losing a human token but me gaining 5 is a big deal. It lets me gain value out of these tokens. Sure. If the 10-10 blocks this, we'll wolf spike that. Probably be what's going to happen. Alright. Sounds good to me. Just go ahead and get in with this Muse as well. We're going to go up to a lot of health here. Alright, and then we're going to go ahead and wolf spite, take down that 10 defense champion right now. We'll just leave some cards in the discard pile. And then we're done. So our situation's looking pretty good. I think this Muse really just brought us a victory. It just didn't get removed. We've been drawing cards off of it like crazy. I mean, I kind of don't care about the 6 damage. I'll take the 6. Maybe I'm about to get board wiped and this is a mistake, but it's not like the 6 damage makes or breaks my game here. Having these wolves, they'll be relevant in attacking. So we know Tri-Horror is in hand. So it returned to hand earlier. Kark enabled. Just draw a Kark in my random 30 deck. That would be so beautiful. Ah, there goes my Muse. Vanished. That's right, we'll just redraw it. No big deal. How many cards do we even have left? 17? It's achievable. It's achievable. Opponent's gold hasn't been spent, so we should spend our gold. Well, not necessarily true. We're going to start our turn and just start attacking. We can apply a lot of pressure with just our tokens. We know there's a Tri-Horror in hand, so playing something enables the Tri-Horror. But one of these two cards, I mean, one of them probably has draw on it, so they have to use that for the draw mode. Yeah, this is fine. And for 2 more. I think I'm just going to go all in and just dome for 8 here. I don't think that Jazz has anything going on over there. I have a read. Alright, it's fine. We're just going to get rid of our, probably the same one, actually. Or this Spore Beast is pretty lame without loyalty, too, so we'll get rid of that. Alright, we're all set. Honestly, if this attacks, we'll probably just temporize it. Put it on top of the owner's deck. I think it's pretty good here. And I mean, I guess the other option is Angelic Protector. Yeah, let's Angelic Protector. This is pretty good because it does a couple of things. So first we get to set this up. We're going to block with it, then Revolt to give the Angelic Protector +2 attack. This Angelic Protector is untargetable and unbreakable here, so there's actually very little that Jazz can do about this attack. They could make their champion bigger, but it won't ever kill our champion, so... And they can't use anything that targets our champion. So for the most part, we are very likely to just take down this blocking token. This thing right here. Alright, Pyrosaur. Looks like no loyalty though, so that's not bad. Let's just start coming in. 16 in that deck. I'm just going to play this Paros and then pass, I think. Because if this attacks, I can block with the Paros and they trade. And I take 2. Jazz will probably start the turn here and then do something like attack, I block, they play Tri-Horror. Something like that. But I'm very happy to use this 0 just to take down that Pyrosaur. Like, it's a very slow deal 3 damage to the Pyrosaur. Weak to Feeding Frenzy. Alright, very nice. Yeah, because we don't care about the 2 damage because we're at 58 or 56 now. There's Tri-Horror, right on schedule. Alright. Let's get this, I kind of want to play the Noble Unicorn, but we don't have another card to follow it up. We'll just draw 2. It's not like having the Unicorn out will let us attack more. And we're definitely going to temporize that. Keep getting in. Now they've got Sunstrike, I'll probably just use the Sunstrike instead. Temporize is a little more conditional, and Temporize is really nice because it's just kind of lame to draw Tri-Horror. But it does mean that we're using our off-turn gold. I think I'll just go with the Sunstrike here. Good answer. You need to answer at some point, so I'd rather answer on my turn and then have to deal with Jazz's off-turn gold, then pass, Jazz starts the turn, and then I answer it on Jazz's turn, and I have to deal with Jazz's golds. Like this play right here, Recall Rally the People. I'm very happy about that. I think that Justice Prevails was so utterly ridiculous, though. Honestly, we've had a very good game. Like, just the whole lineup. We've had a lot of things going right our way. Still kind of tempted to play as Angel of Mercy and just bring back like a Watchful Gargoyle. Really Noble Unicorn. I'd rather be bringing something back like Noble Unicorn. That'd be the ideal. Well, I have the option to just see if they have it with Frost Giant. But I mean, anything stops it. Rather People stops it. So it's not that reliable. I don't want to play Frost Giant and then pass. Or even Rampage Tumor and pass. Well, it doesn't really do anything. Problem is that I don't really have a proactive play to make that isn't just Frost Giant. We could play this Angel of Mercy on our own turn, after blocks. It would draw a card. Kind of like that. It's a little weird, but I think it's not bad. This definitely blocks here. It just lets us cantrip our Angel of Mercy here. So we'll play this, we'll draw a card. Our Noble Unicorn's not really doing anything else this game. We don't have any other good ones in hand. Pass the turn, see what happens. Last time Jazz gold was spent recalling Rally the People, so it's quite possible this will just be Rally the People recall it. That would be rough. Yeah, that's looking like what it's going to be. That is very rough. And so I think that means that not playing a Blitz Champion is correct, because both of these would just, it wouldn't even affect our opponent's tempo. They would be playing that anyway, they just lose a human token. Now this Angel of Mercy has to be dealt with, or it'll bring back a Noble Unicorn on my turn. So Jazz can't pass to me, they have to act. Or, I mean, if they pass, I just get Noble Unicorn and have 9 cards in hand on my turn. There's Guilt Demon. Yeah, that's a pretty good answer. Getting rid of 2 of the potential targets, I'm guessing. Now the real question is, do we block? How greedy do we get? That we don't need to be greedy. The thing is, it's also the play you'd make even if you didn't have a way to follow it up. I think there's Rally the People, right? So they could play Rally the People, recall Rally the People again. Yeah, I won't block. rally people is discard. Put a human token into play. Your champions get plus 1 offense this turn. And you can spend your gold to put it back into your hand, even though it's free. So you could play it for free, spend your gold to get it back, and then play for free a second time. Interesting. Can't return card champions to the owner's hand with that right now. We'll just draw 2 with reset. I don't think this card's going to do anything else for us. We're going to get back a Peros or a War Priest. It'll probably be the War Priest, just because it gives us more things. The Peros gives us 1+1 every time we play a good card, but we don't have any good cards happening right now. We're just going to come in the air with this Angel of Mercy. Honestly, it's done most of its job. It's really just rattled up our opponent, forced them to act differently. I think we want to go Fire Shaman plus Rampaging Worm. You get rid of the Guild Demon and the Bass. Then once Jazz makes a play, then we'll attack and lash it after blocks. This way Jazz kind of has to respect what I could do. But Jazz really wants to spend their gold now. It also shuts off things like Lying in Wait. Like if Jazz had Lying in Wait right now, they couldn't play it because we're not attacking. Yeah, see, this is the greedy play on Jazz's part. So now I can attack and then both blocks play the lash. Pretty much only blown out by Hasty Retreat. That's the only thing that can really stop us at this point. Yep. Alright, that's going to be it. Good game, Jazz. Yeah, I'm not sure what's happening with the tap effects. I did notice that happened with the Rabble-Rouser as well. I might want to try just turning off stacking tokens. Alright, but we got an arena reward. We got a foil standard bear. Alright. Well, that's good. Let's just hop into a quick play. Let's try and get some more games in with this deck. I think we played one. Made some tweaks. Decided to put in some wild. We're going to play Fort Jolt now. Surprise attack. This will help us deal with small champions, and it cuts down on our recycle. We had a lot of recycle. Playing Surprise attack. Just a reasonable card to splash. I mean, it lets you play your on-turn cards off-turn, and it works great with recursion. So we're running Lessons Learned, Chronicler, and I guess that's it. But those two cards, it'll help us give us something to bring back. And also, Surprise Attack synergizes with Recycle, because it just means you can recycle more often. You have more cards in your discard pile. The downside is sometimes you won't be able to have a target. Rigged. To be fair, that was pretty ridiculous. It was a pretty busted game. Just got done that Muse early, and things just kept going our way. And then we're also going to try running some burn in this deck. We have Polar Shock, so this will deal 6 damage to opponents. Basically, that'll be the wild core of our deck, and then we're just going to experiment. Mostly we want to see if we can get tokens to be human tokens to be a nuisance. Enough of a nuisance that the opponent needs to deal with them, but also it's inefficient. So they either have to get rid of these 1/1 tokens a lot, and it ruins their day. Like they don't have any more cards in hand to get rid of our real threats like Imperial Commander, Gold Dragon, and Noble Unicorn. Or they don't deal with them, and then we just chip them down with our little 2/1s and what have you. That's the game plan. You can do the usual litmus test here. My mic drops out a bit. Try and adjust it. Is that better? One's going first. This looks great. I like surprise attack. I don't like frantic digging because he uses recycle. Chronicler's okay because we can get back surprise attack. So we've got a draw two, a reasonable off turn play, and another reasonable off turn play. I think this is fine. Alright, this is going as for 10 basically because you took the 4 automatically. So Pyrosaur, tribute and low, and when it attacks, you take 2. All of your champions take 2. So we just took 4 and it's attacking us. Revealing a Kong or Savage Uprising, which deals not really relevant against us. It'll mostly be 5 damage to us, and that's it. And they'll draw a card. And then we've also got Draka here, which is very similar to Pyrosaur. So Pyrosaur and Draka are very good against our deck in general. So what we're going to do, probably just try and block with this Chronicler. We'll surprise attack it out. And we can just block. Easy peasy. Coming for 7. I'm pretty happy about that. I think that overall we got a lot of value out of that. We're just gonna draw 2 here, make some more tokens. Savage Uprising doesn't work against these, although Draka does. So Draka here would be very good. Alright. Looks like no loyalty 2. May have been better to play the Draka without the Fire Shaman and just reveal the Fire Shaman and the Savage Uprising, but maybe not. So just because we're going to have these no unicorns out, I'm going to burn this surprise attack so that way I can keep getting this ally ability to draw another card. We can just Palace Guard right away. I'm going to draw a million cards. Never pass. It's fine. We're going to group attack with our human tokens here. Alright, and then we're going to discard probably one of these lake claims that we have a lot of. Yeah. I think we just want to get rid of this with a Polar Shock here. A little aggressive, but they have 2 cards in hand. They probably need to draw, or maybe they don't have a play to make. That's real. We're gonna draw a card and make our humans big. Start getting with our humans. And if they're in a really bad spot, you might as well just continue to take advantage. The big brain plays. Oh yeah. So big brain that I never even thought of them. If we erase that, it gets to get replayed. We'll just draw 2, I think. Or even gain 12 health might be reasonable. We'll do the draw 2 that makes 2 humans. Alright, let's see if we can get the center discard pile. Sure. Either way, it's 2 hits with anything, so it doesn't really matter what we lose. Trying. Gonna dig 2. No luck. That's the game. So overall, when you have a good victory like that, it's worth checking out. As long as you can beat the burn deck, I mean, most of the time, right? You don't want to be losing because your deck's not getting going, or you just have a lot of cards that do the same thing. Maybe you have a lot of slow champions. That's our whole deck. It's all slow champions. It's all Sea Titans and Palace Guards and Bounty Hunters. But then, and all of your off-turn plays are mostly draw 2s. Well, then you're going to be in trouble when your opponent just plays an ambush champion and then tries to attack you on their turn. I mean, that's not a great example, but you get the idea. So overall, that was pretty good. Pretty good. You can try giving it a different deck here. Like we could do something like the Sage deck. just because, or even just Sage Tempo here. Be good. We'll do the Sage Beatdown. This is just Sage heavy deck with Thought Pluckers and lots of loyalty cards. It's a good secondary deck to test against. Just gonna, the opponent's going first here. I don't really want any of these. I don't think it's worth keeping the White Dragon because I need an off-turn play. And the only option I have with this is to gain 12 health, which is pretty bad. Alright, we got some off-turn plays. That's good. Healing's gonna come in. Nothing else. We're just gonna erase it then. That's good for us. We've got an empty board, so we'll just apply pressure with Bodyguard. This is the play, even though it's a bit weird. We just continue beating down with Bodyguard. Let's just use one of these late claims, even though it's kind of what we could play. No loyalty too. Yeah, there's a link. I'll post it. There you are. Usually what I'll do is I'll play with the decks for a bit, and then if I feel like it's a complete deck, I'll add it to this list. So for example, we could probably put this one in. I kind of have been liking Phalanx. I'll add it in after this game here. Or I'll even just do it, should just be able to leave and then continue where I left off here. What we'll do is export this. Alright, and we'll make it color as well. Okay. So you can just copy that. Basically the way it works is you just copy the code and you click import and it'll put it into one of your deck slots here. Alright, well let's just continue our game there. Alright, so we just had our 4 human tokens out. They played 2 cards with no loyalty 2s for either. What we're going to do is frantic digging away our Bodyguard here. Do some shenanigans. Now we can play a 1-cost card to get it back to our hand. Oh, we're in a draft. Alright, we're up against Edge. This is kind of an interesting pick. I think Second Wind is very good in pretty much any deck, but so is Sea Titan. And my heart beckons for Sea Titan. So I'm going to go with the Sea Titan here. I think these are both great first picks. I wouldn't ever really go with Marcus, I mean not ever, but I would definitely in this pack, I wouldn't go for Marcus or Strafing Dragon. I don't think they bring quite enough to the table to want to go heavy into a color, which they both rely on. And Inherits the Meek, while good, is also a card that is asymmetrical. And I wouldn't want to take it first pick. I don't think it really changes. It's not going to be as reliably impactful. Definitely give it a shot. As I make updates to decks, I just make the edits there. Or my opponent conceded. That's too bad. I guess that's better than them just waiting it out, right? Well, we can continue our game here. Alright. Oh yeah, we're still recycling here. Okay, so it's the opponent's turn, and we just spent 0. So once we play a 1-cost card, we'll get this Bodyguard back to hand. But it needs to be a good card. So ideally, we can get that out of the discard pile now, so that's safe in our hand. We'll go ahead and play this light claim, just make more humans, I think. Ooh, that's pretty big. Could make a very big human tokens. Let's go ahead and just get him with this bodyguard first. We'll see what our opponent does. I think the smart play would be not to block. This is fine as well. This way they get to draw a card. I'm going to go ahead and amnesia them so that the recycle turns off. So when this goes to the discard pile, the Warrior Golem activates recycle. So if it dies, you can actually recycle itself. It's different than this other card to say recycle on an event or a tribute recycle, because it's going to be in the discard pile already and then it's going to do the recycle. So what we're going to do, just banish the discard pile right now so that there's no recycle to be had. We'll recycle ourselves. And now, looks like the AI is making a more aggressive play here because the Warrior Golem dying is pretty bad. Alright, but now they can't block. And now the board is clear for us. We can just plop down this Imperial Commander. Grab our bodyguard back, draw a card from the Imperial Commander. Our human tokens are 4/1s. Go ahead and swing in here, we'll see what happens. Alright, this is perfect. What we're going to do now is we'll just play this bodyguard first. That way we win Revolt to give all of our champions +2 attack. Our bodyguard gets the bonus. And we'll play this brand here just to make it so our human token can take down that 8 defense. Champion. Reveal 2 of the same card. Gives us the opponent the least information. And now our human tokens will be really big. But it looks like we're going to lose that anyway. That's not that big of a deal. Biggest part about this turn is just going to be coming in for a bunch of damage. Alright, we've got a lot of human tokens here. We might just win. Alright. This is the goal, right? Is we got our opponent to kind of react to our human tokens. So that way we can just come in. I think, yeah, because, right, 3 of these get blocked. Yeah. Yep, we have lethal right now on board. We just turned our 1/1 humans into 6/1s. Oh, looks like it won't be lethal yet. Stop the lethal. Be a 1. Alright. You survived this time. Okay. What's really nice about this Imperial Commander is just the fact it's already drawn us a card, and it's such a big threat on its own. All of our tokens, our random 0-cost champions, they're all getting a boost. It's probably going to take out a human token, I'm guessing. Maybe this Helion will activate its ability to take out 2 human tokens. That's going to get rid of our bodyguard, so we can't get it back. It looks like it's going to be a bit greedy and save it for some more information. I think I'm just going to go for the block here, even though it does give them the recycle. Sure. Alright. No big deal. Let's just go ahead and let's make 4 humans to draw a card. Humans are so big right now. Just gigantic humans. They're already just 1 human can take down that blue dragon. Really good against those medium-sized champion decks that just can't deal with your random demon tokens that you just made out of human tokens. And even this is fine, right? Because we just have so many. We've already applied so much pressure that each human token is already a threat. Not a big game. I'll do a new queue as well, regular. Maybe we can get a game in with this deck. But yeah. Overall, I'd say it's doing pretty good. Oh, wait, did the game start? I did. I'm up against Ben Ron. I see Ben Ron playing these real-time games a lot, actually. Opponent's going first. I think Urgent Messengers is a great card to have in hand. just because it gives us a draw 2 that does something else. We're going to toss the Amnesia because the draw 2 in the secondary mode requires Recycle. We don't really want to rely on that in the beginning of the game. I also think that Chronicler is kind of a weak card to have early on because it doesn't do anything if we just play it right now. Probably won't do anything next turn. So you really want to be looking for the next 2 turns when you're mulliganing. Or you want to have a plan laid out. You don't have a way to use this in your hand. I think we're also going to toss one of these Polar Shocks because the second one kind of doesn't have that much synergy. If we can't use the first one, the second one's dead. A big thing about Epic is a lot of the time, if you have multiples of the same card, it can be a major downside because you're limited by your gold. So your gold is kind of like the bottleneck for all of your plays. So 2 of the same card, yeah, good game, Jess. 2 of the same card is actually more like just you have the extra play if you play it after your opponent makes their you use the first one. So if I have 2 of these Polar Shocks, the second one does nothing until I play the first one, and the second one has a use as well. It's not like in some other games where I might find a way to use both at once, or I mean, sometimes the cards will work really well with each other. I mean, or you'll just have a hand that encourages it, like 3 champions, 2 surprise attacks. You know, you'll have a way to use both surprise attacks. The tricky part about real-time games is that sometimes your opponent will take a while. You know, they're just doing something else, or they're... I know some people really like to think about their turns a lot. See, what I wonder is, maybe we can also just queue another one here. I always run into this. I always run into this conundrum, right, where I queue up again, and then my previous opponent makes his play. It's true. Yeah, I'll hop in it again. 48 hours is pretty good if you're just playing casually, but I also just like to hop into a game. I've mentioned this before, but I personally have a hard time when it's a real-time, not a real-time game, when it's a 48-hour game, and I haven't made my turn in a while, and I pick the game back up. I have to kind of figure out where I am again. I know some people can do that so well. I mean, I've seen these Star Realms players that they'll have 20 games going at the same time, and my mind's blown. It's fair. Well, I guess we can try it out against another deck as well. We could do one of our other ones. We could do something like... I want to play against another... Play against Soldier. This is a deck that just draws a bunch of cards, basically, and then has a bunch of things that use the discard pile. So we have Amnesias in our deck, but we don't have a lot of ways to interact with those. Let's just go ahead and we'll keep... So we're going first. We don't really want Revolts. Justice Prevails. Her Instant Meek's fine, because it gives us some interaction. Just toss off these other cards. Maybe the Mobilize is okay. I just want to pass here. Could play as Urgent Messengers. Kind of a weird play. I think I'm going to pass. I really want to try and get value out of this White Dragon if I can. Alright, that's fine. Here's what we can do. We can banish all non-tokens. And play White Dragon because we spent a one cost good card this turn and recycle. play a... Luckily, Banish is very good against Soul Hunter. There must be a function of the player base, because the matchmaking... I mean, we'll try not to match players with other players that are the same that you've played against recently. Let's see. So the opponent's going. It's the opponent just spent their gold, so now it's my turn to spend my gold on their turn. I mean, I think it's just draw 2 with Amnesia. Well, Amnesia might be very good against this Soul Hunter right here, just because we want to get it out of discard pile so it doesn't keep going back. But I also don't want to use Inheritance to make, because that's also a very good card in this situation. So I guess we'll just make 4 human tokens and draw a card. Just make a lot of human tokens. I'm in the air first. I'm going to draw 2. Generally, it's weak to make a play immediately when your opponent attacks. Like if I, unless I had a 0 cost, like if I knew I really wanted Spike Trap to deal 5 damage to target attacking champion, or to each attacking champion, I mean, for 0. I might decide I'm going to draw 2 right now, and just maybe I'll get it. And if I don't get it, then I would have just drawn 2 after my opponent attacked me anyway. Most of the time, you just want to have taken the damage and then passed, and then that way, when your turn starts, you can just, when your opponent passes, you can start your turn and maybe do something on your turn. But sometimes your hand doesn't let you do that. You just have like a 4-card hand of all draw 2s, or they don't really do anything to the board. Need more options, and you just have to take the risk that your opponent's going to punish you somehow. So what we're going to do here is just try and get a brand to take this down, so we'll attack 2 as a group. And we'll go ahead and brand it to give it +3. This will usually work. Most players will just play into it because they don't just want to take 2 from all of these human tokens. This would just be them taking 6, would be their other option. So we'll just not reveal the inheritance to the Meek. We'll just do Mobilize and White Dragon. Those are pretty safe. Alright, that's going to deal 5 damage to us when it dies, and it'll come back each turn. So we're going to get in with all of our humans, and they'll banish the discard pile. Alright. Banish that discard pile so we don't have to deal with that. Make sure we don't have 2 yet. Let's go back. Let's draw 2 first. We haven't spent our gold yet. We can't really play our White Dragon here, even though we've played a good card that costs a gold. We don't have 2 cards to recycle, and that was something I was talking about. The original version of this deck kind of had some trouble with that. We had a lot of recycle going on. We've trimmed that down. We've added some surprise attacks, which should help us. This Necromancer Lord has Blitz. It can activate on the discard pile, but there's nothing to bring back, unfortunately. I mean, unfortunately for them. We're all good over here. We're very happy about that. Yeah, no, Undo is great. I'm really glad that it exists. I think we just Polar Shock that and get rid of it. Get it out of here. Get the 6 damage in. That's also nice. We'll go in the air first, just because if we can deal 5 for free, that's great. Our opponent's at 8. It's very low. Just start coming in for 1. If they want to do some kind of trick that draws them cards and then they can kill our human token for free, that's fine. So right now we have 5 coming in, 6, 7, 8, so we should have lethal here. I'm gonna go ahead and buff a, let's see. Alright, change of plans. We're gonna Chronicler back our Polar Shock and then go for a lethal next turn. So here we'll just get in for as much as we can. It's not like we're taking very much of the swing back. But we won't play the brand. We'll just threaten to win next turn. Top blocker, no big deal. Taking for cards. It doesn't really matter. I'll just get rid of this mobilize. Banish some cards from our discard pile. That's gonna be game. That's pretty much it, really. Alright, well, I think I'm just gonna be ending the stream there. Hopefully we can get some more real games in. But Benron's not on here, and just having some trouble finding an opponent today, so we'll just be picking this up next time on Friday. But in the meantime, have some good games, and I'll see you next time. Yeah, Phalanx, one day, Phalanx will have its day.